So I was looking at the video with the father with the 6 apples and he takes away 3 and he's trying to get his son to say that 6 minus 3 is 3. And I just was like watching the whole video and I'm like, he doesn't know what minus means. You keep saying I take away 3 and then you're asking what is 6 minus 3. That's totally different verbiage. You're not teaching him what you mean. And it's like he was trying to make his son the problem. And I'm like, you're the problem. You have a definition of a word that you as an adult know, and you're not teaching your son what that word is. And you keep, it's like when you have a teacher. This is what I felt like in physics class. I felt like my teacher would teach us, and then on the test, it's like, this is not what we learned. And so you're teaching him totally different information than you're testing him on. And it's like, and then you're upset because he didn't get it. And it makes me think of a recent conversation I was having with my dad, where I was telling him, like, maybe I'm having some depressive moments, but I literally don't know how that manifests because I don't typically deal with depression. And I know my father has said that he's been functionally depressed his entire life, which mostly because he grew up poor and stuff like that. And then a lot of experiences that he had. And then one of my brothers suffers from depression. And so I'm like, you all are just more well versed in it. And so I can't really communicate whether I'm dealing with it or not because I don't know. He was telling me the other day, like, oh yeah, you've had multiple depressive moments. So I call him back a couple days later and I'm like, okay, can you walk me through these depressive moments you've had? And then he's like, oh, I was just saying stuff. Mind you, my father has a PhD and is a therapist. But he just was like, oh, I was just saying that to get you to talk. And I'm like, Dad, that wouldn't work because I don't know what depressive moments are. So you trying to bait and switch me to get me to talk about it would have never worked because I don't know what it is. I was like, if you were to say, this is a depressive moment, this is a depressive moment, this is a depressive moment, I could be like, okay, number 2. That's what I deal with in real life, is that sometimes even he was like, oh, are you a junkie person? And I just was like, yes. And he's like, no, you're an organized person. So if your house is junky, then that's a depressive moment. I'm like, oh, because I tried to ask him what the definition of junkie was, but like when I'm talking to people, I'd be like, let me ask you what the definition of what you're asking me is so we're on the same page. But they take it as a personal affront, or they take it as I'm trying to talk around the point. They take it as I'm not trying to answer the question. I'm actually trying to answer the question well. Let me take a peek into your mind. What do you mean by this so I could properly answer your question? And so I was trying to get that definition before when he initially asked me the question. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm junky. And he's like, no, you're not. You're organized. So if there's parts of your house that are junky, that could be a manifestation of depression. I'm just like, well, okay, now that I have the information, now that I have the definition, I'm like, okay, I can better articulate it. But it's like, people just want you to know what they're talking about. And then when you ask follow-up questions, they don't want to answer your question. And I'm just like, bruh. So now, going back to the video of the apples, did the son actually learn anything, or did he just guess until he was right? And now the father thought he taught him something, and then he still don't know what you're talking about.